we circle our wagons every day, win or lose, reinvent ourselves. No, we need to just go be who we are. That's the thing about it. In football and defensively, it's about attitude. The attitude that you want to go and make every single play. And that's what we've been teaching our guys since we've been here. We're going to continue to do those type of things and play with great effort.
What stands out about UCLA?
The quarterback. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Cam Newton of Carolina Panthers. Big, strong, athletic. I must admit, he has one of the best arms I've seen. I had a chance to go against Stratford when he was at Georgia, first-round pick out of Detroit, Mallet at Arkansas. And this kid has that type of arm. I mean, the entire field is wide open. I mean, he could be on one hash and throw the outcut, and I'll tell you what, it's like a bazooka coming out of there. He's a special talent.
So you go from Tebow to Newton last week. I mean, that's two very different quarterbacks you had to prepare.
It's true, but you know what? One thing you're going to hear about me, I want to tell you how I see it. And this kid has that type of ability. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic, he has that type of arm. And he makes plays with his legs, but always looking down the field to throw the football. He's hard to corral, he's hard to tackle. He's a lot like, my man last week, he is strong in the lower body. But he looks to throw it more than he looks to run it. But when he pulls it down, now, I would say he has to be a 4'6" guy. Yeah.
I know obviously BYU is in the past for you, but what do you think the guys were able to learn from that game to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future?
Opportunity. We had a chance. I think we had 5 or 6 sacks in that game. We missed 6 sacks. If you get half those 6 sacks, you take 20 points off the board. In the third quarter, we have a blitz on. We have my man Jenkins draped over the quarterback. He throws really a duck. We have 2 DBs around the ball. We don't make a play. That would have taken 7 points off the board and maybe turned the game around. Because I think at that time it might have been 13-0. I mean, so opportunities. When you have an opportunity in life, you got to make the best of it. It's like how many of you people out here play the lottery? You guys play the lottery?
Yes.
Okay, so you think you have a chance to win, right? You don't. I'm just telling you right now. Okay.
Somebody got to win.
But guess what? I don't play the lottery, so I have no chance of winning. That means I have no opportunity. So in a game of football, when that ball is put down, as a defensive player, you have an opportunity to go make a play. And we missed a lot of opportunities in that game in the third quarter. They scored 28 points in the third quarter. You don't give yourself a chance.
Speaking of opportunities and sacks, what did you think of Big Malcolm's performance?
Again, 2 straight games, he did a great job for us. He's a man among boys. I mean, he can push the pocket. He can beat you one-on-one. And he's a vocal leader. He lets you know what's going on. He gets on the other guys. He's the type of guy that you look for. If you go out recruiting somebody, I want to find me another Malcolm Brown, and that's going to be hard to do because I think he's that gifted.
Is he the type of guy? When he was in here last night, he was saying some pretty impressive things. But he has an interesting background, being married and all that stuff. Is he exactly the type of guy y'all want standing up in the room, saying what's what, and things like that?
The thing you said, you just said he's what? He's married?
He's married.
What a beautiful
2
thing.
kids. Yeah.
Beautiful thing. He's married, kids, and you know what? He's hungry. He's hungry to do well for his family. He has a chip on his shoulder. Those are the type of guys you want on your football team, guys that when you leave as a football coach and the lights go out, I don't have to worry about him because he's motivated to be successful. That's what you look for in young people today. What motivates each individual to be who they are? And you want a guy that's hungry, the guy who wants to do right. It's Malcolm. A guy that you feel like you can trust. That's Malcolm. A guy, if I let him in my house, I don't have to worry about anything. You know why? It's class act.
I feel like UCLA, the first couple of weeks with Hunley and the guys they have out there, underperformed a little bit offensively?
Well, I think the first game, they had some things that they had to get worked out. Second game versus Memphis, I think they had a lot of those things worked out. Again, he lost his 2 top receivers from a year ago, so he's feeling around. I think against Memphis, he found the guys that he likes to throw to. And so he's gotten better and better each week is what you should see in a lot of quarterbacks because, like I say, he is a talent. So he's going to have our hands full. You look at receivers, they 6'1" to 6'3", big, strong, physical, run good routes, good hands. Offensive line is big and athletic. I mean, it's going to be a major challenge for us, and we're looking forward to that challenge right now.
When Charlie was asked about defensive starters possibly being taken off special teams since they were on the field for 11 minutes in the second quarter and 35 for the game, he said they want to get off the field, get off on third down.
There you
They're
go.
not coming off the special teams. Your thoughts on that, and where the defense can take the next step this week?
The first thing I told him Sunday is that, you know what, if you get 3 and outs, it means you win it on third down, you get a chance to go off the field and rest. Football is not complicated. A lot of people trying to make it that way. But if you stop a drive 3 plays and out, guess what? You get a chance to sit down, drink some Gatorade, and get ready to go back again. That's what we got to do. We got to get better on third down. We cannot allow a team to be in third down and 1 and 2. We had too many of those last Saturday night, and that's hard to stop in those situations. So we got to get some third and longs and win those battles, get off the field, catch our breath, and get ready to go again. And we told our guys from the start, if our defense plays better than that defense, you win ball games. Guess what? We didn't play better than that defense, we lost the game. It's not that complicated.
Is it easier to get the guys' attention after a loss like that?
I think win or lose, you get their attention. If you're doing the right thing as a coach and the things you believe in, the attitude that Coach Strong brings to the table and his defensive staff, is that we always on them, win or lose. And sometimes when you win, you're on them harder. And sometimes, a loss like this, they step back, get ready to go, because we tell them all the time, if you can't be your worst critic, when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, what do you see? Some people walk around with a crown on their head all the time. They really need to take that crown off and see reality. And that game brings you back down to reality. At the University of Texas or any institution across this country, you have to go out there every single play and play great. You can't ever take a play off. If you understand that, then good things can happen for you.
What do you tell a guy like Jason Hall? Obviously, the opening kickoff comes back. He's, getting into it with a player, hurts the team right off. What do you tell him?
The biggest thing is that a lot of times a penalty like that, and I saw the video, and what I want to say I really can't say, so Jason Hall don't get another 15-yard penalty because you and I might fight on the sideline because you put us in the hole.
Vance, what's been your overall view of the DBs through 2 games?
You know what? Average. We had a chance to make some plays against Brigham Young, didn't make them. That crucial third down in the third quarter when we had a blitz on the ball hung up in the air, we didn't make that play. That's huge. It's a missed opportunity. And you don't want to miss many opportunities when you're in a close game and a tough ball game at home. You need to make those plays. And that's what it's all about. When it comes your way, make that play. Because think about it. If that ball hung up in there, we intercept that ball and return it for a touchdown, the only guy can tackle him was the quarterback. He's on the ground. Now it's 13-7. Whole different ball game, whole different field position. It didn't happen. They made the play, we didn't, and it ended up being another touchdown. They went up 20-0.
Safe to say you expect them to be a lot better than average?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot better. If you want to walk around and say we're DBU, when that ball's in there, you know what DBU means? That ball is my ball. You throw it, I'm going to take that ball home. And that didn't happen in the ball game. We had 1 interception. Our goal was to have 4 takeaways. We only had 2. We get 4 takeaways, the game again could be different. So again, missed opportunities are key for you in defense.
Does Josh Turner come back this week?
Josh Turner right now, that's still up to the head coach. It's still up in the air, so that's just a wait-and-see situation.
Coach, when I asked you about getting the guys' attention, one of the things that Coach Strong had said was that guys were putting in the film work, the extra film work that needed to be done before the game. He said the demeanor before the game, guys were just too relaxed. He talked about taking them back in. He talked about the BYU sign that no one's tore down. So I was just wondering, have you noticed a difference leading up to this game after all that? Oh, yeah.
The guys have been around a lot more as far as watching video. Certain guys watch video all the time. Jordan Hicks, he's around all the time. He's like a coach on the football field. But some other guys are starting to learn what it takes. If you want to be an outstanding football player, we only have 20 hours a week as coaches to spend with the players. That is not enough. If you want to be a great football player, you got to spend some time on your own. So far this week, they've been around watching video, looking for tip sheets, looking for the details that will give them a chance to be successful on game day. And that's what it takes. To be honest, when you look at big-time football, it's like professional football. If you don't spend time on your own, then it's not going to get done. It's not enough time in a day, for us as coaches to do it. I coached in the NFL. Well, guess what? You have the players all day long. Here, we don't. They have to go to class. We be in meetings all day ourselves. So as coaches, the time that you need to spend with them sometimes isn't enough. Therefore, they're to take ownership themselves.
What'd you learn about your other pass rushers like Cottrell and Caleb?
You know, I think Caleb is an excellent pass rusher. Bryce is coming along. He's a young guy that needs to continue to develop. You know, but the other guys, they're starting to come just a little bit more. And we told Sept we needed him to pick it up. He had 10 sacks last year. He needs to get some sacks right now. He needs to be a leader of this defense right now. He needs to step up his performance.
Yeah, it's kind of going back to what Anwar was asking though. I mean, you know, Quandre talked about how he took down some signs and he didn't want to take down any signs because he didn't want to go to the pit. You know, the guys are learning from y'all. They don't know what to expect from y'all.
That's a good thing.
At this point.
That's a good thing. Yeah, it is. You know what?
Why is that?
If you're on edge all the time, it keeps you ready.
Yeah.
You need to be on edge all the time. Get ready for the unexpected. That's how the game of football is played. When you go out there for a play, you don't know what's going to happen in the next play.
Right.
But if you're focused, you're detailed, you spent the time to get yourself prepared, then you're ready for the unexpected. And that's a good thing. Keep them on edge.
But are you concerned though that these guys may be fearing you guys too much?
No.
Or do you want them that? Do you
No,
want them that?
these guys don't fear us. They come around and laugh with us. If you actually talk to Quandre Diggs, he'd sit back and he'd be cracking jokes about us all the time.
Right, well, that's
I
what
mean,
that's what
so at the end of the day, you know, Jordan Hicks that way, Malcolm Brown's that way. Those guys don't fear us. They come up and laugh with us and joke with us all the time. I mean, somehow the media brought some out where they're afraid of us. No, they're not afraid of us. One thing that Coach Strong has done his entire time of coaching as a defensive coordinator, as a head coach, he brings discipline, doing the little things right. That's what's important. And a lot of people talk about those things, but at the end of the day, guess what? He's doing it. If you were a parent at home and your child did something wrong, oh, it's okay, you know, don't do it again. He does it again, oh, it's okay, and he continue to do it, well, what are you teaching that kid? So as a football coach, guess what? You're a parent. You're a parent, you're a teacher, you're a counselor, you're a psychologist. You're all those things in one. You have to be extensions of that mom and dad. And it's up to you to teach them discipline, how to do little things right. And Coach Strong talk about his core values. He put that on the wall. It's like it's a new thing. It's like somebody wrote the Bible. Well, if you go home, treat them with respect. If you have a son, won't you teach that? And at the end of the day, I never had a gun. My mom never let me have my gun. My wife surely won't let me have a gun. So what's wrong with that? No drugs. What's wrong with that? Think about that. Just look, don't steal. What's wrong with that? So what's big about those core values? It's the same thing that every parent out there teaches. And people may like, oh, man, that's really big. No, it isn't. Every parent teaches that at home. All he's doing is saying, this is what I do with my kids, with his two daughters.
So when Coach said he was upset that guys didn't rip down the BYU stats in the locker room, how do guys know when they're crossing the line of being disrespectful because the coaching staff will put it up there? And this is the type of aggression that you guys want and the passion you want.
Again, you want guys to be a little bit on edge, and that's all the fun in it. You know, it's like Corner said, he tore some things down. What happened to him? Absolutely nothing. Because that's the type of guy he is. That's the type of guy who's very confident in who he is, who has pride in being here at the University of Texas, and being pride in his brother, Quentin Jam, who played here. That's what it's all about. So at the end of the day, I threw a couple up in the trash myself. What's the big deal? I'm a coach. I didn't get in trouble, so what are we talking about? So that's just part of who it is. And that's those signs up there that show, man, this is what happened to us last year. If you don't like it, do something about it. So if you throw it in the trash, no power to him.
Vance, where's your linebacker? Well, obviously, Hicks is off. He's been playing great, but where are the other linebackers right now?
Solid. You know, we need to improve. We need to make more plays. We're in position to make tackles. We need to make those plays. You know, again, on Saturday, we missed some great opportunities, you know, with a couple of guys. You know, Jordan Hicks has been really good for us so far this season. You know, we have some other guys that need to step up. You know, a guy who is playing well for us right now is Peter Jenkins. And because we're in so much nickel this past week, he was standing next to me on the sideline. So we're trying to find a way to get him on the football field. He's a guy that brings a lot of energy to the defense. And to us, defense starts with energy. It starts with enthusiasm. Here's a guy who's always laughing, always energized, and I watch him, I get fired up. And we need to have more of that around here. And being cool, that's not good for football. In football, is a physical, dirty, bloody sport. I mean, let's throw a ball out there, get some mud and some water, and let's go have fun. That's what football is. Get rid of the AstroTurf. Let's go back to the old days where the ball is wet, cold mud, you got blood on it, you got spit on it. Now you get a cut, they take you out. That's not football. Let's go back to the old days. Let's take off all these face masks right now. Everybody want to look like Ray Lewis. Hey, you know what? I broke my nose here at school. I had a 2-ball face mask, broke my nose, put a ball down the middle. That's all I needed. Life went on. I mean, you know, I still look good, don't I? So what I'm worried about. My wife think I look good. That's all that matters.
How do you get him on the field? You train him at middle, or?
You have to train him at 2 positions. And he's a kid that's sharp enough to get those things done. You know what? It's important to him because he wants to get on the field. You want guys who want to go on the field. I tell guys all the time, if you're a backup, that's your fault. It's your fault. That's your friend, but when you're on the football field, it can't be your friend if you want to play. You should go out there and take his job. Competition makes a team better.
Vance, you guys said you said after the game you put Taysom Hill in the Heisman conversation. Would you be surprised if guys didn't get up to play Hundley and try and shut him down?
Well, we definitely have the wrong people that can't get up for this guy. I mean, you sit back and watch the video, and I'm like, whew, man, like I say, he can throw the ball anywhere. I mean, I hadn't seen many quarterbacks on one hash and throw the outcut to the field, and it's coming. If you're not close enough, it's completion. He's an NFL arm, and what I mean by that, you can have tight coverage. He'll put the ball away from the defensive back. Most college quarterbacks won't do that. They'll hold that ball, they'll scramble, they'll go someplace else. So if you can't get up for this guy, you can't get up for anybody.
Are you guys licking their chops? 9 sacks given up the first 2 games. 5 the first game, 4 the second.
You have to, because our defensive front has done a good job. And the biggest thing, if we can have tight enough coverage and make them hold the ball a little bit, we can buy time for our down guys to get there, and that's going to be key. You know, disguising coverages, because he does a good job sitting back there reading coverages. You know, Noel Mazzoni's done a tremendous job in preparing him every week.
Got time for 2 last ones?
If Turner is back and you use him, will he be part of the mix?
If he's back, then he'll be part of the mix. See, simple question, simple answer.
A lot of these guys Last were one. embarrassed last week. When was the last time you guys were embarrassed like that, or you were embarrassed like that?
You know what? I don't know. Anytime I lose a game, I feel embarrassed. Whether it's 1 point, whether it's 40 points. Because if you're a competitor, losing leaves a bad taste in your mouth, no matter how you look at it. And for the fans out there, yeah, are you upset? You should be, because you played at home. But at the same time, it's like I said after the game, I have a great father, 82 years old. He was there. My beautiful wife was there. My brother-in-law was there to the end of time. You know, I have 2 little nephews in Houston, Texas. They play football. And watching little kids play football for an old coach like me, sometimes I'm like my dad, I just shake my head. I stay there the whole time, good, bad, and indifferent. Why? Because I went there for them. And for the football players here at the University of Texas, any place across the country, these young men, they work their tails off. And if practice were open and you guys can see how hard these guys work, no matter what the score was, no matter what the weather is, you'll stay there and support them the entire time because how hard they work. Because why? It's the University of Texas. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, through and through, you cut and you bleed orange, you're going to be their supporter. And I've been away from this university for a long time. I've coached at a lot of places. And I've always kept up with my alma mater. Why? University of Texas. And that's how I feel about this university. As a fan, when I was out there on the outside looking in. And my thing to you, good, bad, and indifferent. These young men need your support. Show up, good, bad, and indifferent. If you're a Longhorn fan through and through, like I have been for the last 20 years.